All right. It's time here for our first qualification match from Group B. And in the top right side of the map, our hotkeys are not set up here on the Korean server. They've reset when we swapped region. Good to know it. What a professional intro here. Hope you guys enjoy it as we fix these settings with the server change. All right, guys. Our very first qualification match from Group B. ZOUN in the top left side of the map playing Protoss for onside. He sent one of his very first probes across because he is opening with a proxy gateway. His opponent in the bottom right representing the Shopify Rebellion, it is BYUN. BYUN's the big favorite to progress from this group. ZOUN has been very much, I think he's playing very good pre-patch build orders, so his aggressive timings are strong and solid, his micro is good, his execution's good. But I haven't seen him use the non-warp gate gateways once, and that is the clear best way to play macro as Protoss on this new patch. And I think it's the only way to really play it at a super competitive pro level. So we'll see what he can do. I think this sort of aggressive opening matches ZOUN's strengths. Get in under BYUN's skin. Sometimes you'll catch BYUN doing a command center first here and really catch him off guard. We'll see how we go. ZOUN's been struggling with lag all day. It was cameras on, cameras off. He's just getting lag spikes. This time, we're on the Korean server, so I don't know why or how he's lagging. Before, I thought it was an issue connecting to the Americas server, but it's unfortunate, man. All right, guys, tech support, BYUN helped him out there, asking ZOUN if he's using a VPN. It's basically his connection's been spiking. I imagine basically ZOUN's local interchange or something like that is just getting overloaded. It's either that or maybe he's in, what do they call it in Parasite? Maybe he's in one of those like semi-basement, whatever it's called, sub-basement things, and they're like fumigating, and somehow that's like messing up the internet-wise. I don't know what's going on over there in Korea, but usually they have such amazing internet, so it's a shame ZOUN's dealing with some lag spikes today, but I totally agree and support. If he has lag, instantly pause, let it settle. That's what I want to see. Now, BYUN's going double gas here. Double gas is not my favorite build order because it's so expensive. You can see only 9 workers on minerals just to get this quick factory. But what I do like about it is the moment that factory is down, you're seeing pivot workers off of gas, back onto minerals, and of course, to try and afford that second depot into the command center. The good thing is he's all high ground. He's doubling up on production facilities before command center. So even though he's not scouted, it gives him the immediate chance to defend this by having a barracks and a factory ready. Now, this is going to be 1 Zealot into 2 Stalkers. Remember, Stalkers build in just 27 seconds. You chrono them, become 17 seconds. But, oh, the Reaper sees it. And he's already going to go for that Zealot. Oh, my gosh. Okay, he does go across the map. That forces the shield battery to go down. Extra pylon at home as well. Zealots and Stalkers head forwards. Bunker's on the way. This gives him time to build the bunker, which is a complete game changer. And that's going to be a real pain for ZOUN. He feels really frustrated with that. Ooh, Reaper, is he going to get a probe? Yeah, gets one probe just in time. Meanwhile, SCV is going to go down building the bunker. BYUN, oh, he's not really saving his SCVs. I feel like with how early that bunker was, he didn't need to sacrifice 3 SCVs here. Felt like a bit more, hot swapping the weak SCVs back, he'd be in a good spot. Like, once again, sending that orange SCV forward just feels like a little slow, a little sloppy on BYUN there. I want to see him stay calm. I think this is a good, the fact that his Reaper scouted, he could have been miles ahead if he only lost, say, 1 SCV there. On the other hand, I don't think it's bad for him. The command center starts before the Nexus, which is always great. Obviously, he's got a Cyclone on the way, which shuts down any sort of follow-up. He's still perfectly fine. At any point, if ZOUN loses this area, it's, such a problem. The fact that his Cybercore and 2 gateways are here. And one has to wonder, shouldn't he have built the Cybercore at home? Or did he literally not have this pylon at home until after the Cybercore built? Am I crazy for thinking that Cybercore should always be in the main base? Maybe it doesn't time out. For BYUN, the win condition is capture that area of the map, which is much easier than pushing your opponent's base. You capture that area, you get a big advantage. The Zealot tries to hide in the grass there, but one Reaper can stay on the tower while the other one attacks it, and they should be able to hunt that Zealot down. Surprisingly, they don't go after him, and the Zealot does escape. Cyclone's going to come out. He's going to try and push this away. The Stalkers have gone all the way home, but that means the Cyclone could run in, lock on. It's going to take 14 seconds to kill that pylon. It does exactly 400 damage over 14 seconds. Adept's coming out. Not the best unit against this. They only do 9 damage a shot due to the Cyclone's base armor. Cyclone will back away. Reapers also zip past this army. BYUN, of course, not going to be able to deny that just yet, but he's going Banshee behind. And, oh, Adept shading on top. Costly maneuver there. Does lose him an Adept. The Reaper's going to dive in. Once again, ZOUN still stuck mining on one base, but with the shield battery, he's looking good. The Reapers will pop out and escape for now. Oh, whoa, miss rally. I'm telling you, BYUN, it's such a good opening position. But right now, and looking at his camera, I feel like he has the temperament of a guy playing his first big tournament. There's just this unnecessary excitement and kind of angst in the way he's controlling his units right now. I think he's still in a good spot, but that is BYUN in a nutshell, right? Getting excited, playing living or dying based off of every unit, getting every single kill it can. He does get another probe there as well. Robo on the way for ZOUN, very necessary. The fact that he's held onto these gateways is really good. But is he going to be able to maintain that control? You know BYUN is thinking about denying it. It's dangerous being out here for him. With no blink ready, it's okay. I love the charge first, though. Charge first is so good at shutting down the army that will try to move out. If he overcommits with this army, Zealots could clear it. He's warping in his first few Zealots. If you can get like 4 charge Zealots, maybe can deal with it. 2 more gateways building at home. Thinking about going for that early charge push. Where is the Banshee? Banshee's gone across the south side of the map. These guys really exposing themselves. Oh, man, I don't know. He sees a few Zealots. You got to realize charge is almost there. He's got to target the pylon, man. He's a bit afraid of going too far away. Depowering that would be massive. Nice. Widowmine takes out a Stalker. Always a positive trade. Banshee's going to come in. There is a battery, which is the beginnings of the defense. Units do warp in at home off those gateways before they go down. He's going to lose the 2 gates and a Cyber Core unless he can deal with this, and I don't think he has the units to deal with it. Stalker with the battery should be able to take care of the Banshee as long as the Observer stays nearby. Energy Recharge comes in and does well. It's going to go down. It's a good start for BYUN so far, guys. ZOUN is in trouble. Such a huge amount of investment. And look, where's his money got to go now? Rebuilding everything. All the gates, the Cyber Core. Got to rebuild everything from scratch. And this gives BYUN time to go stim, building tanks, engineering. I'd love to see a 3rd barracks for BYUN as well. And I think BYUN should feel calm just turtling. He does not need to do anything for the next few minutes in this game. Wait for stim, wait for shields and medevacs. Because, I mean, your Banshee can also see that there's no 3rd base out there. And no 3rd base means no economic pressure. Did he build a 2nd Banshee, guys? Yeah, he did. He's just left it at home here for now. Ooh, almost gets the Adept. The Cyclone does go down. ZOUN finds a very necessary catch there. Feels like he doesn't have any follow-through, though. He's kind of all in right now. And the moment this wall-off gets sealed, 3 tanks on the high ground, big pack of Marines, a Banshee, and Reapers, BYUN is looking immune to ZOUN. And I think if you've studied ZOUN's play, and BYUN's really been grinding this patch, you study this patch, you kind of look at it, and you go, hey, I've watched ZOUN. ZOUN doesn't really utilize the new gateways at all. He's always over-investing in mass warp gate. As a result, he's always kind of, by default, a little behind against Terran. And remember, ZOUN was always a player who would often let the Terran build more workers and then stop at about 66, 70 workers. Like, even 2 years ago on, what was the map we used to play every single tournament series on? Ley lines. You guys remember ley lines. Good memories on ley lines. Every series. Ley lines never got vetoed once in its entire life. I was like in the map pool for so long. Multiple seasons. He would often just make a huge army on 66 to 70 probes and then look for that one big timing. That's kind of the ZOUN style. But I think these days, because the Terran's got the 300 Mineral Command Center, and because he's not really utilizing the regular gateway production, he falls further behind than ever. Now, he's actually transformed these back to gateways, but he's already spent the money transforming them, which is 25 minerals, 25 gas per gateway, and he's way overbuilt gateways. There's no way he can support production off this work account of more than 2 gateways plus Colossus. 2 gateways plus Colossus, and he would not be able to spend the money and keep up pylons at the same time. So the 6 gateways basically don't do anything. And this is what I'm talking about when I say there is a lot of wasted investment in current builds, and you just don't have the room for it. You have to be so efficient in the current PvT meta. BYUN, killing those gateways on the map, keeping his Banshees alive, taking them home and repairing them, finding excellent damage to the Observers. Where are they? There we go. Finally, the Observers come, but there's no blink, which means the Stalkers can't go to the low ground. Oh, as good as Charge First was as a decision, he needed to have enough Zealots to defend his base. And you know what, guys? I think I'll do an analysis at the end of this game, because I think there was a strategic line ZOUN could have taken to defend those gateways, and we'd be in a very different game right now. As it is, the Banshees tear up his income, and he's finding himself deep down the well, no way out of it. BYUN calmly, casually, building up his bio count in his 3rd command center. The Banshees will finally go down, but they have already done their work and then some. Pylon's getting cleaned up as well. These Zealots not really finding anything. Calmly, Pig? Okay, guys, sorry. I wasn't looking at his camera for a few seconds. I looked back at his camera. BYUN could be in the most unlosable position ever. And you look at his camera and you think, oh, is he the Banshee pilot staring into the eyes of this Protoss god on the side of the map? Because sometimes his physical reactions do look like he's in a 1v1 fist fight with this gigantic guy, doesn't it? Are you fighting a 9-foot-tall friggin' Zealot in a bar fight? No, I'm fighting a 300-foot-tall stone gargantuan Protoss, apparently, in a life-or-death struggle. Banshee does go down. +1 attacks on the way, 4th Nexus, but ZOUN is far behind in this game. Down in Workers, and I don't know if he has an answer for this Bio army. He's got 2 Colossus. Does Colossus have some heavy lifting to do? He's using his Tal'Darim skins, right? I think these are the Tal'Darim ones. I believe so. Second starport's on the way, 5th and 6th gas for BYUN. BYUN doesn't have any pressure on him to really do anything. He's happy to just chill, add ghosts, add Vikings. As I said, ZOUN doesn't put the economic pressure on, and I think BYUN knew that going into this series, just from the way he's played this first game. It's kind of like, no, ZOUN's scary with his timing attacks, but long term, I can take my time. Build a 4th command center, go 2/2 upgrades. That's always the thing. BYUN's quite good at studying his opponents these days. Second Robo comes up for ZOUN now. It's on 3 gases. Observer's there as well. That's the Zeratul co-op skin, Pig. Really? I don't know. Zeratul without a scythe in his hands just doesn't look like Zeratul to me. Maybe I'm racist. I can only tell Protoss apart by the weapons that they have. Observer does go down. Ooh, nice little Zealot run by. No bunker here, but I think BYUN should be able to pull back. 2 tanks might do a lot of friendly fire. Dude, that Zealot chained the charge. That Zealot charged onto that tank from so far away. That was amazing. There's a skirmish in the middle of the map as well, but I think the tank scared the ZOUN army back. He loses 2 tanks. Honestly, tanks were never going to be a very mobile part of his army anyway at this stage, but I would like to see BYUN split like a pack of bio to go clear the edges of the map and deny pylons, deny Zealot run-bys. Because you know there's going to be more moves like that, and since you're getting close to maxed as BYUN, you're in big trouble. But if they come in and your maxed army is on the other side, to finish that thought. But he's massing command centers right now. His 2/2 is almost ready. I think we will see a BYUN F2. That is an immense amount of Zealots. Oh, he doesn't F2. He just splits his units nicely. Well done. Yeah, I think he should detach these units and send them on a little adventure to clear that north side of the map. Because right now, ZOUN's got a lot of map control. It's giving him a lot of room to breathe. As I said, ZOUN always sits on 67 workers. He's still building out of regular gateways, but he's making like 400 gateways. So I guess he's just preparing to swap them all to warp gates, but he doesn't really have the money for it. So ZOUN's playing so many gateways, 12 gateways, but he's leaving them in gateway form. So I feel like he's kind of paying lip service to the gateway production without really benefiting from it. Nice Zealot. You can't land here. You guys ever see someone standing in a parking spot and you're just like, bro, you can't reserve a parking spot without the car. And they're like, yeah, what are you going to do? Run me over? That's essentially that Zealot. Well, apparently BYUN did send the crew over and got a bit of Terran brutality on him, took him out. Vikings chasing the Colossus. They go a bit far forward too. Vikings get sniped. Good micro for ZOUN. ZOUN's only got 4 disruptors and they're not here right now. They're going to come from that left side. He needs those disruptors to help him defend. Tank goes down in the middle of the map. A little bit more map control for ZOUN. ZOUN is very dangerous in his mid-game to early, late-game engagements. I remember there was a period where he kept beating Clem a couple of years ago. Just with one big good engagement can just change everything. Oh, good disruptor lands. Takes out a whole pack of Marines. 9 Marines on that right side. But doesn't have any more shots behind that. He's lost 3 disruptors so far this game. And with only 2 robos, it's tough to keep going. Also, the armor upgrades are famously always late for ZOUN. He always prioritizes attack. He never rushes armor, which means his Zealots melt once that +2 attack is finished. Double attack upgrade advantage, plus EMPs and stim. Oh man, Zealots they do a very poor job of being a meat shield in this situation. A very poor job. Bio army's so scary. There's still a few Vikings overhead, which for just 2 Colossus seems to be enough. Little Zealot run by trying to distract, but ZOUN cannot defend his 4th. BYUN fades away north. He gets 2 more Nexus, but he does decide to pull back without going for the combo deal. He wants to play it safe here. ZOUN's going for a bit of a counterattack. I don't think BYUN realizes this. Crazy move for ZOUN. He doesn't have any disruptors with this, but I think he's thinking, what can I do, man? He's going to catch BYUN not looking. Cute starting angle for the fight. Nice. Zealot flank from the right side as well. He does have +1 armor now, so at least he's only down on the armor upgrades. He's actually got +3 attack. The Colossus doing okay damage, but I think the Bio did such a good job of kiting away so the Colossus weren't shooting frequently. The Vikings removed the Colossus from the game. Disruptor fires from incredibly far away, but the scan sees it coming. And BYUN all over this game so far. Mass Command Center coming out. He's on 7 orbital command centers. So long term, he's got unlimited map hacks now with the map vision. He's got mules that can drop endlessly. Supply is still dangerously close though. And I gotta say, ZOUN is like always so focused on this very simple army and just looking for the win condition. You've got to respect him. 1 or 2 bad engagements, it's lights out for Terran still. But the longer the game goes, the more unwinnable it becomes for ZOUN because of that mass command center explosion. It's not even about 300 mineral command centers. That just accentuates it. It's always been very scary if Terran gets to mass command center late game. The Iron Bank. Oh, does get a disruptor, but loses a whole pack of bio. That was a little bit ballsy for BYUN, diving into the fire to snipe a disruptor and loses a lot of units doing so. Looks like he just did it again on that side. This time, doesn't lose as much. How many disruptors have gone down? 6 disruptors. Units lost have 50% ahead for BYUN. He's just going to keep taking these bases one at a time, keeping his army together, exposing himself to no risk. Zealot Stalker well past its expiry date in this game. And ZOUN's not really got any other tech, right? He's on mass warp gate now, 12 warp gates. He's making the Zealots. If he was rich, Dark Templar and third Robo are the 2 things you go for here. But you really need a much bigger disruptor count. Like right now, he's maxed on mass Zealots with +1 armor. Yeah, they'll have +2 soon, but it's against 3/3. So mass Zealot, I think, is well past its expiry date. And I don't know what else he could add. I mean, for me, I'd say disruptors and then try to get some Dark Templar run by. Also, Zealots focus more maybe on counterattacks rather than frontal fights because 40 Zealots are just going to get stuck behind each other in the battle. But gets a Viking in a medevac. Not a bad engage. Disruptor does get picked off by the Bio. Follow-up shot does whiff. Good dodge there for BYUN. Gold base going up for ZOUN as well. I'm impressed that ZOUN's made it to this situation. We don't see any pivot or tech variation. Often Psystorm can be a good way when the Terran does chase you onto the map and jumps on your army. High Templar coming from surprising directions can drop storms. I think one of the changes I really disliked this patch was the storm. They knocked another 10 damage off it. And it was already pretty low DPS. It's honestly not that noticeable, but I just don't think it needed to be lower damage per second. Even though it's a very good zoning tool, you know? Disruptor does take out an SCV and some Marauders. At the highest levels of StarCraft, it's all about DPS, right? Damage per second. Take down your opponent's units before they can take you down. And that is one of those changes that has been quite controversial. I mean, the original Storm change was quite controversial. This is just adding to that is what I mean. Oh, Disruptor comes out. Marauder's taking big damage. Oh, Ghosts do get one shot now by Disruptors, thankfully. I was not a big fan of seeing Ghosts tank a Disruptor shot last season. That always felt a bit weird to me. Oh, big flank. He tried to move out for a drop here. ZOUN jumps on him. Crazy move here for ZOUN. Is it going to pay off? Disruptor comes in and flanks. Takes out a few Zealots, a few Marauders. The Bio flanking from the south that unloaded down there. I think BYUN, scrappy engagement, but a good enough fight here for the Terran. There's a few Zealots in the natural finding some damage as well. There's a lot of minerals, but ZOUN can't even afford to rebuild his gas units. Remember, the gases do mine out really quickly these days as well. The gas does not last as long, only 2,000 gas per geyser. And that means, yeah, you can make Zealots all day, but he's only now making a few more gases. And that's really tough for ZOUN. Still 5 Vikings up. He's making Colossus now. Thinking about that, he's still making about 1 billion gateways. 83 workers is a lot, but I don't think he can fight the army front on. I really want to see ZOUN just run around the edges, split his army into 2 sides, and maybe in the chaos find some big disruptor shots. Oh, good spotting for ZOUN. Crisp eyeballs, man. Bit of an odd siege up. I guess if he scans, he's technically in range. Will he have the APM to do that, though? Zealot Stalker on the right side. If the Stalkers blink, they take out the libs, but there's too much bio support. Disruptors there as well. I like the idea of making it a bit scrappier with the split push. Great disruptor shot. Takes out a pack of Marauders there. But Oh, he's actually not split pushing. This is his entire army. Wait, what? Where's the rest of his army? Oh, no. He's got like one... Oh, he just doesn't have much, does he? I mean, he's got a lot of Zealots coming in. But the gas shortage for ZOUN really hurting. He's maxed once again on mostly Zealot. Finding a win with mass Zealot here would be rather wild. It's hard to find consistent disruptor shots this stage of the game, but definitely it's going to be the unit that I think has the most potential for him in his current arsenal. As I said, Psystorm could be good. But if you can get to like 8 or 9 disruptors and you catch BYUN out of position a bit, you can sometimes go in and like zone him out while you bust a planetary. And then, you know, do a bit more hit and run with heavy Stalker Disruptor. Stalkers are really good in large numbers as well, because even though they're bad straight up at fighting the bio, they can blink in and kill a planetary before the Terran can do much. That's kind of the aim, but you want to usually do this off momentum. Going into this style when the Terran already has... Oh man, I don't know if I want to check. 11 orbitals, 4 planetaries, and a line of Liberators creeping their way across the map. Oh man, he's going to attack him with the double planetary. He does take out one of them on the south side. ZOUN going for it right now. Takes out a few Zealots, a bunch of repairing SCVs. The army's coming back to try and defend this. Clears one planetary, but not able to get through it anymore. Oh, here we go. Zealots getting blocked by the command center, the bio, and the repair on the planetary, doing so much damage. The rest of the army a little bit too slow to the party. The planetary does go down. The medevac's falling. Where is the rest of BYUN's army? He's gone back to the top right. Denies a nexus, but he's getting overrun by the Zealots at home. And remember, BYUN doesn't have that much bank. Oh man, he's making some mistakes right now. You can see BYUN's looks so stressed on that camera. He's in such a big lead, but he's not repairing this planetary. It goes down as well. Oh man, a game where BYUN has had the advantage for so long. He's still obviously in a scary position, but the command centers on the south side are getting harvested. ZOUN should pull back now, clean up this, and then go back to just the status quo. I think he's played really well. He could try to keep the momentum up. You got to be very wary about pushing in. He's still down in army supply here. And you need to rebuild some Nexi very quickly, because it's not like you have a crazy income either. But another orbital goes down, guys. That is 1 command center, 3 planetaries, 2 orbitals. Really good value pickoffs, especially the planetaries. Cost the same money they used to, as the upgrade costs more now. A couple Vikings go down. The Colossus does fall. Stalker's trying to pull back. The medevac's taking damage. The Zealot Stalker roaming around this map. Zealot's in the top right side, denying that command center location. Zealot Stalker trying to run forward. He's leading BYUN in a circle. But where is the follow-up splash damage? He's going to go back to Colossus, guys. I think once the opponent's in heavy lib, I do think Storm is necessary, because it stops the libs from sieging up. BYUN is running around like a headless chicken right now. He's lost another command center. This is such a tilting loss for BYUN. BYUN got to checkmate and then accidentally knocked his own king over, I feel like, in this game. I don't mean to exaggerate, but I guarantee you he feels that way right now, because he knows he had this game in the bag. When your opponent is still massing Zealots 23 minutes into the game, it's like, imagine someone's just making Marines or Zerglings with a few support units. Like, that's not meant to beat you as a pro player this deep in the game, but he split his army way too far to the top right. And when the first attack came in, he actually pulled his army back. And then ZOUN pulled back, and then he went, oh, actually, I'll go back to the top side. But he gave up way too much room there, and he lost so many more bases for sniping a very unimportant nexus, and then one other nexus that wasn't nearly as central to ZOUN's income. And this is very unfortunate. Now, how many orbitals does he have? He has 9 orbitals, so he's actually still fine economically, as long as he just keeps dropping mules. He could still win this game for sure. But it's way dicier than it should be from here. With only 21 workers, most of those have to be on gas mining. And he's not got many new bases. As long as he can keep mining 1 base at a time, I think he'll be okay. That's a big if, though. Here comes the Stalker Colossus. The command center gets focused. That's the power of mass Stalker. The heavy Stalker count can focus those bits of infrastructure down very quickly in those moments where the Terran's not quite in position. But Stalkers are expensive to lose, and he's lost 25 this game. I'd love to see the Disruptors come back in. Without Disruptors or Storm, there's only one way this game goes. It's ZOUN builds an economic advantage, but he's never going to have the army to match this. Mass Zealot will never beat this army head-on. It's just not going to happen. 3 Colossus isn't going to change that. And if he doesn't go into Storm Disruptor, inevitably BYUN will make a giant army and counterattack and win. I'd love to hype it up more than that, but I've seen this so many times, and that's why I'm praying right now for ZOUN to go to that next step, or to never fight BYUN and just base trade. If you never fight him head on and you just base trade, like get BYUN annoyed or jump on half of his army if BYUN makes the mistake of splitting up like he's making right now. BYUN, he's so afraid of getting caught by recall. He gets spotted and he just runs back to safety, which is probably the correct call. Probably the correct call here. Still a very dicey game. BYUN has a much bigger army supply. The Zealot Stalker mobility is giving him trouble, though. Ooh, good Stalker focus fires on those Vikings, man. Those +3 Stalkers do take care of him, but even more Stalkers died, up to 32, so 6 more Stalkers died there. And they are hard to replace. Remember, not much gas. Plenty of minerals in the bank, but not much gas for ZOUN. And he's still not built a Stargate to deal with that lib, which is crazy if you ask me. You have to build a Stargate to deal with ranged libs in the late game. He's got a new Disruptor here, 2 of them. Could look for a few shots, but look at this. BYUN moves across the map, and ZOUN says, thank you very much. I will snipe a bunch more orbitals. He can send these Zealots in. As long as he saves the rest of his units, he's okay, but he's got to save him. He's got to save him. Oh, God, he's a little slow to pull back here. He's going to dive on top. The Stalkers taking care of some of these libs, but the Bio army is absolutely massive, and I think this is probably a good fight for BYUN. If he can trap the rest of this army, it will be amazing. The Zealot Stalker needs to just run. He's just got to blink the Stalkers, get out of here. He tries to isolate that northern pack of Marauders. Good call for ZOUN to find what kills he can. The units lost time still 8,000 in favor of BYUN. Remember, it's all about not fighting the army front on with this force. It's rotating around, keeping moving, make BYUN keep stimming and pick off units only when he splits them off. Like in this scenario, you want to catch that overstimmed army out on its own, and you want to use BYUN's frustration against him. ZOUN right now has to be Omega patient because the BYUN army is still very scary. The ZOUN economy is better, but even his bases aren't mining that much more. Zealot's going to jump on top, forces a bunch of EMPs in a stim. Doesn't quite commit to the base, and I think that's a fair call. Did he save the probes? Looks like he saved some of them. 7 probes did go down. Command Center is going to be getting a lot of damage on it. These Stalkers should be blinking forward there, and I think they will. That base is going to get jumped on by the Zealots. These Marauders are out there in the middle of no man's land. The Stalker's taking out the libs. He throws some balls out. Decent balls. One of them does get shot down. The other one doesn't. He's going to take out the Command Center with the Zealots around. But wait, is this too much? He might lose too many units for it. He does take out the Planetary. It was BYUN's most important Planetary in the game. I think it's well worth it. Great move for ZOUN there. He can trade Zealots all day. It's the Stalkers, the Colossus, the Disruptors that are hard for him to replace. He still has very little gas mining. He needs to take these gases, but it's hard in a hectic game like this because his army needs so much attention. One bad fight and he will lose this. ZOUN has turned this into a barn burner. He has been dead in the water for most of this game, but he has somehow found a way to resurrect himself. ZOUN so confident in the late stage with running around in circles and avoiding a bad fight, and that Bio army was overstimmed here. The Zealots are able to overwhelm ZOUN with the numbers. An incredible comeback, and that is the power. You can see on his camera he's playing from the void. He was in the void. He was in the very bottom of the bin where no sunlight can reach, in the bottom of the trash can, in the bottom of the garbage, and he climbed his way out like some sort of foul beast that found his way on top of the bin, and then he grabbed BYUN, threw him in the bin, slammed his head shut on the lid multiple times. I can't believe ZOUN won that game. That was actually insane. All right, guys, crazy comeback game 1 for ZOUN. Stylistically, I have a lot of criticisms of ZOUN's style. I do think he falls behind in the macro game, but man, was that army movement good. And he kept it simple. He didn't take a ton of gases, which, yeah, there was a few moments where he was a little light on the gas, but it's way more important to have an abundance of minerals where he can just throw Zealots away relatively inefficiently. But in the movement, especially on that last map, he can find mistakes. And that's exactly what he did, right? He found mistakes where BYUN couldn't keep up with him. BYUN goes Command Center first here, by the way. Cool build order. But BYUN couldn't keep up with the army. The bases are quite spread out on Eternity's Edge. And he could do the same thing if this one goes to late game. But because this is horizontal spawn, this is going to be tough, right? Like, BYUN's pushes on the south side will be much harder to stop. And usually the Terran will actually maybe even take their fourth towards you, potentially, depending on how the game flow is going. So as a Protoss, where do you expand? Probably north along the top side of the map. I do think hidden corner bases can be quite good. But ZOUN is obviously going to have a lot of pylons and spotters across this whole northern side if he wants to expand to that top right corner. Comes in, sees the barracks timing, and he goes, Command Center first. I see you know your judo well. But of course, BYUN, unlike Australian police officers from the 80s, will not be touching this one on the you-know-what. Oh, look at that! He cancels the second gas. Mind games. He takes a gas upon seeing the SCV, lets him scout it, and then he's going to take the third barracks. Is he? You're not going to go double engineering bay off 2 barracks, are you, BYUN? Don't be silly. Factory, I guess. I guess you do need a Cyclone or a tank, maybe. I thought he was going to go 3 barracks, but no, he cancels the gas, builds a factory. Interesting little mind game there. ZOUN, of course, still scouting around with his probe. He's going to be going for Stalker into Adept to get across this map nice and early. Now, BYUN's not been a huge fan of super fast third command center, but he will mix it in. And he does not know where his opponent spawned. As far as he knows, this could be cross map. ZOUN's making sure there's no corner bases, I guess. Good call. Good call. This is sort of like greedy builds. Sometimes they double down and they build a corner base as well. 3 Marines will push the Stalker back. Double chrono on the probes. Yeah. Oh, Robo first. What is this? Ladies and gentlemen, Robo first. Now, the way Hero would have played this pre-patch would be get a few observers out and then basically just like probe up and go for Storm and charge with map hacks of multiple observers. I feel like ZOUN might be expecting... I mean, he shouldn't be expecting 3 racks because he saw both gases, didn't he? Actually, he never scouted this gas. Well, he'll get in there now, sees the second barrack, sees the factory. He knows what's up. Does he just go 2-base Colossus? Or was he maybe even thinking of doing a Speed Prism Colossus drop? Because straight 2-base Colossus is an odd build. It's very good for breaking a guy who doesn't build tanks and just plays straight bio. Like 2-base Colossus Sentry Stalker is so good if they just play 3 barrack Stim. But he saw gases coming up pretty early. So I'm curious. ZOUN might just play Colossus into macro. He's building a shield battery against Command Center first. How interesting, guys. The last thing I'd be expecting is aggression off a CC first player. And yet ZOUN seems to be worried about some sort of 2-base push. Interesting. And his probe is scouting everywhere. It's like he's like, where's your money? What are you doing? It feels like ZOUN is paranoid for a situation which just doesn't feel like it matches a CC first opening. That being said, better safe than sorry. And he's building a lot of gateways. He's not making warp gates, which I love. He went to build a gateway and then changed his mind. Oh my gosh, is he going to leave them in gateway form for multiple minutes? Because it actually is a very strong push. If you just produce more units out of 2 gates right now, the problem is if he builds multiple tanks, tanks can always defend a Colossus Sentry Stalker push. There's only 1 tank this game. Still very good against that. He's going to build 3 more gateways. Dude, ZOUN's style is so odd. It's so much like watching Zest, isn't it? Where you're just like, he clearly had an attack in mind, I think even before the game started, and he's going to commit to that attack. But going into like a bunker, a tank... I think with that pervert mode, though, he saw no tank in the main. He probably knows there's a starport about to land on that reactor the factory was building. So it's mostly just bio, which is weak to Colossus. Extended Thermal Lance is on the way here as well. Fascinating playstyle for ZOUN to just go hard on a 2-base Colossus timing. Real meta build. BYUN's going to stim a Marine around. He has no idea what's happening. He's not seen what's going on in this game at all. He's sending a few Marines out. You can see the Stalkers are trying to shield the Colossus from being scouted. But if this Marine can stim into that main base... Oh, this guy is a hero. Okay, we're on BYUN's camera. Does BYUN stim that Marine and watch it? Yeah, on BYUN's camera. He's going to stim in. Ooh, he's not stimming. Does he not have stim? He does have stim, but he didn't use it. He's building more bunkers. He's afraid. He's like, why don't you have a third? Sees the Robo base. He knows it's a Colossus push. Here we go! Massive Colossus push coming in. It's slow Zealot Stalkers and a Colossus. The Marines, they have stim, but they're on the front line. The Marines, very exposed. Oh, some micro mistakes there. For BYUN, he should have pulled those Marines back and let the Marauders tank. That was really scary. Luckily, though, there is no charge. And there's a second tank out. He's building more tanks. He's got a new bunker coming up as well. I don't think this is winnable for ZOUN, especially if the tanks target the Colossus, but... Oh man, the Colossus Stalker just click on the Siege Tank! One of the Colossus does go down. The other Siege Tank, if it falls, that might be lights out! He's got a bunker up though. He's still got a Cyclone. The Cyclone does go down to the Colossus as well. The Marauders need to be very careful. Oh my lord, this 2-base Colossus timing is crazy. 6-gate Colossus. If he had a Siege Tank, that would be fine, but losing those tanks was everything. And I think that's what puts him in a really dicey spot, because look how many SCVs he's going to lose now. I mean, it's all in from ZOUN. You can lose even more, but the problem is you're not mining right now, which means his production is coming to a standstill. He's building SCVs instead of military units right now, which is real problematic. He's got to save the command center. The command center goes down. Oh, he waited too long. He stims forward to go for the Colossus, but that was a rage stim. You could see he rage chased him there for revenge. He's got to rebuild the command center. He's going to try and move the tank forward. Beautiful timing here for ZOUN, guys. An old school push. We were saying earlier, ZOUN is always going to be about aggression. And that's something which you've got to know going into this series. It felt like BYUN played so safe in game 1. He kind of sensed that something was up. He knew what was going on. But those tanks getting sniped was just, I think, such a good move. Because like I said, if the tanks are just shelling on you, you're kind of just screwed. But if you can just run in and click the siege tanks like he did, That's essentially the assignment. And also, if your Zealot goes in, takes a few siege tank shots, that's really big. BYUN was pretty good at targeting them, but his bio was a bit too slow to stim. He was also very low on Marines, and his own buildings kind of cramp up his position and make it really hard for him. He needed to pull the Marines back and have the Marauders in front. He'd already lost almost all of his Marines, and then the Stalkers took out the siege tank. And then suddenly the Colossus just outranges your whole army and can make you stim all day. Oh, great game 2 for ZOUN. All right, guys. ZOUN with a crazy 2-base Colossus push. Not a bad idea. Catches BYUN off. BYUN is going to have to shake the tilt off. He was the overwhelming favorite to get first place in this group. Getting first place in your group gets you straight into the upper bracket of the quarterfinals. Essentially allows you to skip around. Everyone ends up going into the lower bracket. It's not really an upper bracket. I just call it an upper bracket to kind of shorten it, you know, to give you an idea. Essentially, it's a big advantage. You get an extra life, an extra chance to jump straight to the semifinals if you win your upper bracket match. If you lose it, you got to play an extra round in the losers, which is really rough. So you don't want to lose any series here. If BYUN loses this, he'll still have another shot against Hero Marine in the decider match, but it's going to be a tough one. Now, it's going to be a low ground gateway. It's Fear and Faith, another big 4-player map. This one's actual 4 players. There is vertical and horizontal as well as cross spawns all enabled. And unfortunately for ZOUN, he's going to scout in the wrong direction. Now, funnily enough, the advantage of building the gateway in the main is then you could go scout through this tube, which actually gets to the other bases much quicker than going through the front. But command center first once again for BYUN. Nice greedy build. I think it's a good way to play on a 4-player map. ZOUN's PvT has always impressed me, says Shah. It's so interesting because it's so unique, isn't it? Like, there's so many moments where I go, oh, are you sure you're comfortable falling behind economically in this situation? And then you see how decisive he is with his army usage and movement, and you go, oh, okay, I understand. I see why. There's a lot of moments I look at him and I go, surely, like, you're just going to be losing long term, right? Like, you're just falling behind. Your economy's worse. Your army's not good technical quality. But, I mean, we saw what he did in game 1, running around with Zealot Stalker until BYUN lost his cool and freaked out and made some big mistakes. Game 2, really crisp, Zest-style timing attack. Interestingly, 3 workers on gas very early here. Cybercore into Nexus on 19 supply. And you'll have to build that 19 pylon. Oh, he wants to wall off this path so BYUN can't scout him. Does delay the pylon a bit, though, which means he's not going to be able to build the Adept or Stalker for quite a while. So, bit of a mistimed build order, guys. You can see that pylon is still like 8 seconds from finishing. Goes for the second gas. I guess also with such an early probe scout on the 4-player map, that costs you a lot of minerals as well. And the Adept finally does get built. If he was more worried about a Reaper, he'd have to go Stalker. Have to prioritize that. But yeah. Ooh! The Marine does chase him back into the fallopian tubes. I just noticed this, by the way, guys. How cool is this? What do we got down there? There's like a little power reactor or something. Some cool scenery on the edges of this map. Ooh, is there a Thor being built down there? I think that's a Thor. Yeah, I can see the sides of a Thor getting engineered. Oh, he's going... Dude, he's doing the same build. Oh, you absolute meme lord. You absolute meme lord. ZOUN's doing... Oh my god. Guys, he's looking for... This is like cheating. And like you guys... People saying ZOUN looked like he won the whole series when he won that last game. Yeah, because it feels like you're cheating when you win with a little push like that. Little cheeky push. You go, hoo, I gotcha. Doing it twice in a row, though, that's straight illegal. That is straight illegal. Now, BYUN cancels an add-on there, builds the other one, starts building some more Marines. He's worried about these Adepts shading in. He's got 5 Marines, should be able to handle it. It is an Immortal this time rather than Fast Colossus. It does still feel like an early bust is coming, though. I mean, if you're going Robo and straight, yeah, I think he's going to build a Prism after that. Or maybe an Observer. I mean, Observer is always a good idea. It's cheap, it builds quickly. Seeing what you're going into is very... But he builds a battery. Is this for show, guys? Is this show and tell? Is that what the battery's about? Because he's doing a 2-base all-in, where there's no way anything can kill you when you're going 2-gate Robo, but he builds the battery every game anyway. Is this like hoping BYUN scouts it and thinks, oh, you're being defensive? It's an odd choice. Third gateway comes up. 2 Immortals coming out of that Robo very early on. And the Warp Prism. It's a 2 Immortal Warp Prism push. He's going to have a Sentry as well. The Marine even spotting the Immortals is in of itself a huge, huge play. Yeah, the Immortals blast him. Did BYUN see that? His camera snapped here after it died. I don't know if he saw the Immortal. He's got a bunker. He's got a tank. One of the big problems on this map as well is what if the Immortals like drop around? They go drop and find your siege tank undefended or something. The Cyclone, crucial unit to limit that Warp Prism's mobility. Building an engineering bay for the backup wall off. Siege tank, 3 racks production. Very safe amount of army production. Twilight Council and more probes coming down on 3 gas. So this is what I would call a heavy pressure. It's like a cute little timing attack. It's not completely all in that he's still probing, building a Twilight. He's looking for damage. He's even building a 3rd Immortal right now. Crazy style. Prism comes in. The Cyclone's there, though. Oh, he locks onto the Immortal, not the Warp Prism. That's unfortunate for BYUN. He's trying to bait the Immortals with the Cyclone. Gonna lock onto the Warp Prism. Let's push it away for now. But it's free damage, 3 Marines. I mean, it's not really free because your 3rd Nexus is really late. And did he block his 3rd Nexus with that pylon, guys? Am I crazy for thinking he blocked that? I think I am. I think he's got space for it, surely. Immortals come forward. They do take out the depot. 3rd Nexus goes down. So it's going to be charge. Immortals, 3rd base. Forge goes down as well. He's building a lot of gateways, which I'd say is the weak part of the build defensively, but offensively very good for the push timing. Oh, the Immortal's trying to deal with this. He does save him. Oh, he gets the Cyclone and gets out of there without taking any damage on the Immortals, which is the most important part. So ZOUN's getting value now, man. 520 resource damage. Hasn't lost anything. BYUN's paranoid as all heck. BYUN's, you know, traumatized from what's happened in the last few games. And now he finds himself in an awkward and unfamiliar position where ZOUN can now kind of like awkwardly sidestep into a macro game. But BYUN's going to be so paranoid that I think it's hard for him to have any idea what's happening. The map is a black box. He doesn't know what's out there. He has no idea what ZOUN's committing to behind this. And this is just very nice opening pressure for ZOUN on a big 4-player map where he's going to put BYUN in deep waters where BYUN's not really sure what's happening. If you asked me at the start of today what I thought the score would be, I would have said, honestly, ZOUN was going to be lucky to take a map off BYUN. Because you got to realize BYUN's taken down Hero a bunch of times in the last couple of weeks, and I really do think Hero's got the best PvT in the world right now. But ZOUN seems to just be finding really good ways to pick him apart. And I think ZOUN's such a great player to watch always because he's got that planning and that optimization of like Zest style timing attacks and tricky openings. You just don't see a lot of Protoss players play that style. Hero's very loose and intuitive. You can like Hero's builds aren't as tight in terms of planning, but they're less predictable. But ZOUN's build orders, you can tell he's planned the series out ahead of time and he knows exactly what advantages he's looking for in each game. Chat says ZOUN always makes it out of groups. You're not wrong. ZOUN tends to falter in the quarterfinals of most big tournaments he plays. Usually makes it to that quarterfinals in the first place, though. It's a lot of gateways. He's going to transform back to gateways. As I said earlier, this is paying lip service to the gateway advantage. It's not really understanding it. No offense to ZOUN or anything, but there's no way you can support production off that many gateways. So even if he was non-stop warping in, I don't think he could spend all of his money. Not while building Colossus at the same time. BYUN's got a good army. 3rd base is delayed. Zealot drop being a nuisance. I think he's going to have to build a Viking to deal with this. A couple Zealots will go down. Ooh, he's going to warp more Zealots in. BYUN will pull his army back, and I think that's the right call. More Zealots going to run in the front. BYUN catches it. That's a big catch for BYUN. It's like 6 Zealots going down. Remember, these Zealots never have armor upgrades until like 15 minutes for ZOUN. He's almost always very slow on getting armor upgrades. So his Zealots, they're good for running around and killing things. They're not good at tanking. That's always how ZOUN plays. It's a pure damage glass cannon style of Protoss. BYUN's got a big army. There's a lot of force fields Colossus here, and it feels like BYUN hasn't seen the army. Now he does. Where's he going to siege? He's got to siege those tanks there. Nice siege location. Oh, he stims. Bit of a crazy stim. Oh, I think that might have been a panic because the Zealots have come back into his main. BYUN does not look happy with this situation. He looks a little stressed. I think he's got a great position down this ramp, but his whole army should not go to the left. Just a few units. Probes are going to run away through that little tube to escape. Those are worker-only paths. This is your first time seeing those tubes on this map. Prism will escape. BYUN loses another 10 workers. He's lost a total of 14 to just one probe this game, but units lost tab still similar between the sides. Widow Mines Are going to burrow, unburrow. Coming down that ramp is just going to be devastating against mines and tanks, as long as BYUN guards it, but I also want to see BYUN put his Marauders in front and his Marines behind. That's something that's been costing him a lot, is Colossus getting big hits on the Marines. Third base will go down. Fourth is now mining. He's going to try and break it. He does go for the big bust. Tanks get taken out almost instantly. BYUN counterattacks into the main at the same time, which is a cute move if he can save these units, but that is a big if. Bio drop goes into the main. These guys are going to wander into the army, unfortunately. These guys all getting chased down. This is a rout. Oh, well, I mean, he's going to get rid of the Forge. Denying +2 is big. BYUN just took so much damage on his main army, though. It's devastating. Overstayed is welcome. Does get the Robo Bay also. Oh my god, he turns around. Oh, I think there's enough dead space to hide in. Indeed, there is. Now, if BYUN could sneak a drop down here, deny that mineral line, obviously he's still in an okay spot. ZOUN has a crazy work account, but his actual accessible bases are not so good. Forge and Robo Bay rebuilding, which means all ZOUN's going to be building for a while, is Zealots and Stalkers. But with 3 Colossus, 3 Immortals, and 3 Sentries, such a powerful core to his army, BYUN can't match that right now. His Viking count's growing, which will help, but he's not got any EMPs, which would be amazing against the Sentry Immortal. +2 1 upgrades are coming in, so he has a good upgrade lead. +2 just now restarting, and the second Forge does go down for ZOUN. ZOUN takes a 5th base in the corner. I love this expansion pattern for him. I love the 4 Stalkers on duty here as well. No, BYUN has not spotted this base, but he saw the probes run in that direction. So I think he can surmise that ZOUN has very quickly re-expanded to probably both of these bases. Sees this base. How did BYUN find the Observer? Does he map hack? I know you're probably joking, chat, but BYUN is ridiculous at spotting observers. I've seen games where he's killed like 23 observers over the course of a 20-minute game. Every single time one floats near his army, you just see him like snap scan. He's just very good at identifying the blur. He's trained his eyeballs to spot it very well. Okay, double drop, triple drop. Wow. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, he just F2'd that drop. Uh-oh. Okay, BYUN's going to try and move out there, picking up a few more units. He's going to go down south. This pylon might spot him go, though. Can he defend it? This is the worst time to move out. Oh, and ZOUN... Did ZOUN... I don't know if ZOUN saw him leave, but ZOUN's army is there. Okay, I don't know if ZOUN saw him leave, which might be the saving grace, but BYUN realizes he doesn't want to get overrun. He can't move out right now. So this is interesting because ZOUN came back from way behind game 1. Now, ZOUN's going to the late game ahead of BYUN significantly. 5 base, going to 6 bases against 3. Will BYUN be able to step up and resurrect this series? I really hope he can. Win a game or 2. I don't care if he wins or loses the series, of course. I just want more games, more competitiveness, because it feels like that loss in game 1 was such a tilter for him. And I think it would take a lot of real grit to gather himself, get together, and end up winning this game. But right now, because his army's split... Oh no, he just F2'd these guys home. He saw the prism and he just F2'd his army home, which means... Oh, he spotted him. That probe just saw this army. Oh, BYUN's about to get jumped on. BYUN, he has no idea. He's busy chasing the prism up north. It drops the zealots to distract him. BYUN's army is in massive trouble. He's got to pick up and boost to the dead space right now. He will lose 1 medevac's worth of units. Could have been much worse. His 4th command center goes up at the same time. The medevac should be able to escape. Oh, that's an air blocker. You can't fly through that building, mate. But he does manage to keep the medevacs alive for now. Can he defend the incoming attack, though? ZOUN's like, hey, if you got that much supply out in the middle of nowhere, I might be able to just bust you. Disruptors and Colossus not the best at breaking defensive positions. Ghost does get picked off in front of the army. Drop's going to hit down here. It's going to force ZOUN's hand. ZOUN lands a massive disruptor to start the fight. Oh! The other 2 do end up whiffing. One of the disruptors has gone down. The Colossus taking big damage. Where are all the zealots? They're mincing that 3rd mineral line. That means a lot of this army is getting cleared by the bio. While out, it doesn't have any support. The Vikings clear of the Colossus. BYUN loses a lot of SCVs, but he does mince the army. This bio army down here doing what it can. Ghost Academy's burning down right now. I think it will go down. You'll see down here if you want to keep track of that. Bio picks up, saves some of the bio in the bottom side. Ghost Academy does burn down. BYUN at 45 workers. ZOUN at 82. Income significantly ahead for ZOUN. 2 Nexus did go down in the bottom. ZOUN's back to 5 bases. And the 5th one is not mining. Good clean up for ZOUN. Focuses the medevacs. Exactly what he needs to do. And an equal units lost tab is not what you want as Terran, because the Protoss has way more map than you. We'll take out 1, 2 of the Disruptors, but the second one gets this shot off just before it dies. The Marauders take a lot of damage. The Ghosts do fall, and that's a shot that BYUN cannot handle right now. He's got to be more solid than that. And one of the big problems in the late game of this map is how do you get a 5th base as Terran? It's in the middle of nowhere. You need to kind of... I mean, it's hard for Protoss to defend these expansions from drops, but as a Terran, like, we saw how weak mobility was for him on Eternity's Edge at the start of the series. This map's way worse once you take a 5th base as Terran. Nice movement for ZOUN. He's still got 3 Immortals from the early game here. 3 kills, 4 kills, 2 kills. Surviving, most importantly. These 3 barracks going down. The command center is getting focused by these Stalkers. It's actually a really good idea to focus that. The SCVs go for the mass repair, though. They do manage to save it. 2-2 versus 3-1. The Vikings not really doing anything here as there's no Colossus anymore. The Bio Army stimmed just to get here, which means it does take a lot of damage. The sentry goes down. EMP's landing. There's just too much Protoss on the dance floor. And even though ZOUN, the fight, you could say, is a little awkward there. A little bit awkward is fine. When you've got 4,000 minerals in the bank and the Terran is broke, you just want any trade you can get, as long as you're not throwing units away for free, because you can remax, and of course, he cannot. The Warp Prism is there. More Zealots are warping in. Every Marauder is irreplaceable. Every Medevac so expensive. Stalkers take out a few Medevacs and then try to blink away. Most of the Stalkers will go down to the Marauders with Stim chasing them. But nice play here for ZOUN, who... his supply looks bad, and then you realize he's got 4k minerals. He does need to work on the gas. Taking those gases a little bit earlier. He's been a bit slow on that multiple games in this series, but BYUN's got no money, right? He's on 3 base, 47 workers, main's mined out, natural's mining out, and he's up in army supply right now. ZOUN's very slow to rebuild. He's got 12 gateways. ZOUN just needs to survive. These Zealots coming in, they're going to clear out the 3rd base of SCVs. ZOUN should be able to spend this money way quicker than this, but he's not been producing non-stop. And oh my gosh, here we go. EMPs and Vikings come in. They see 3 Colossus, and BYUN not even going to wait to lose his army. He taps out. ZOUN with an incredible comeback in game 1, a great all-in push in game 2, a tricky Immortal drop in game 3, clever build orders for ZOUN. It's what makes him so fun to watch, and really nice comeback there, putting BYUN on tilt a little bit. Well played by ZOUN. GG's. He's going to go through in 1st place from Group B.